Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Corporate Socialite Budgets. In today's video, I will be budgeting the first paycheck of August. So since I've last seen you all, I have absolutely cleaned up my budget, and I also have limited how much I spend on credit cards for the most part. And also I've kind of improved my age of money over here. So slow and steady, I do think that I'm making some progress. So I'm pretty proud of what's been happening so far. So as an update, I actually have a trip planned to Aruba in September. So that is one of the main sinking funds that I am contributing toward, which is this one here. So I need roughly $3,000 by September, meaning I need to contribute $430 each pay period. So this pay period and then the second paycheck in August as well. So I want to just make sure I clean up any overspends that I might have made yesterday. Since I technically got paid yesterday, I did eat out after work. So I wanted to make sure that anything that's flagged red is covered before I start contributing to any bills and or sinking funds. So what I'm going to do is go to my overspent categories, and there are a few categories that are both red and yellow. So this one is Apple Music, which I will go ahead and cover. And then the next one is my fast food run after work. Okay, so I have a couple of items in this stuff I forgot to budget for, but they're being returned, so I'm actually expecting the flags to be resolved essentially. So I'm not too concerned about stuff I forgot to budget for. And then also I have discovered interest. So many moons ago when I was first budgeting, I was very adamant about paying back my interest charges just so my credit limit would, not just implode. But I am trying to make sure that I put more focus on paying my PayPal card down at this moment. I'm trying not to spend on Discover and, obviously still pay the minimum toward it or a little bit more each pay period, and hopefully that can kind of bring my interest each month down. But that's kind of where I'm at right now, so that might be TMI, but I'm essentially in so many words saying that I'm not paying those at this point, but I am still tracking them just so I keep my balance honest. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm thinking I'm going to just go ahead and add in the $430 for this Aruba trip, just so I can get that away from the ready to assign bucket. And then I also have some categories that have scheduled transactions for the remaining of the month that I want to also contribute toward as well. Okay, let's see. So I believe I'm going to come back to this one since it's technically due at the end of the month, and I'll get paid again prior to that. So what I'm going to do is go down to debt payments. So I've recorded multiple budget videos since my last upload. However, I have not had the chance to either edit them or upload them before the next pay period has come out. I've kind of been all over the place with different summer adventures that I've been getting into. So I'm really hoping that I could be a lot more consistent now that the fall is rolling around, and also now that I've kind of cleaned the budget up. But for you all's awareness, I did splurge really hard on Quad Pay and these Pay in 4 apps. And at one point I used to say that I was okay with Quad Pay because it kind of helped me stay on target with my budget and allowed me to schedule for these repayments. But, it's obviously very easy to abuse once you start spending and, you only have a $30 payment that's due, then it turns into 10 $30 payments, and then before you know it, you're paying, unfortunately, in my actual experience, it was roughly $900 in one full month from several Affirm, Quad Pays, Klarnas, all these different apps. So now I am essentially done with these apps until further notice, and I'm hoping indefinitely or forever. But I've gotten that balance down. So essentially I have about $210, which is right here, that is scheduled for payment for the remainder of the month. So what I'm going to do is just add that in so I don't have to worry about it. There we go. And now I'm going to start focusing on my actual bills and expenses that I'm anticipating. So what I'm going to do, since I have not refilled my month rollover or month ahead buffer, is pay or fund any bills that are due between August 15th through August 30th, which is technically when I'll get paid again. So anything from 15 to 30, and I have all of my expenses labeled with their due date, which makes it a lot easier. So I'll just go ahead and car note is due, car insurance is due, spent last month. Okay, that works. Also, I believe I want to add in $35 toward gas. And groceries, I'm not going to worry about as much right now, but I do want to come back to credit card payment. So what I like to do as I'm doing my snowball credit card pay down method is to essentially apply the minimum balance, which is about $35 to all cards, regardless of whether they have a balance or not. This just helps me keep track of how I'm adding in money to my credit card payment. All right, so everything has $35 payment. So now the cards that actually are completely paid off, I'm going to move that $35 payment toward PayPal, which is the card I am focused on paying down. So I'll just go ahead and do this. Very tedious, I know, but this just makes me feel better some way, because it's like, well, technically I paid these cards off, so I can just throw all of this money into one card, if that makes some sense. And then the two other cards, my Discover and Chase Sapphire, I'm going to leave as is. But as far as PayPal credit, I have a target to pay off, I believe, $300 each month. So what I'm going to do is just add in that $985 to meet that target. I'm not quite sure how I got there, but this is where we're at, so I'm satisfied. And then I think I'm going to round up, well, I'll come back to this, because I want to make sure everything else is covered before I start rounding things up. So the next items are Amazon Prime, and I know I spent, this is kind of tough. I'm going to add $20 here, because I apparently have multiple Amazon Prime expenses. So I have Prime Video, and if you have that streaming service, you can add on premium channels like HBO Max or I don't know, any type of cable channel add-on, and those also are billed through Amazon. So my main subscription with Prime to receive, that 2-day Prime shipping comes out on the 15th, but the other small ones kind of happen throughout the month, and I'm not quite sure the days at this moment. So I'm just going to add in $20. Last paycheck, I did go into Amazon and clean up some of the extra subscriptions that I had that I just did not need and were costing about $10. So I'm hoping that $20 will suffice and that I don't need to add anything additional there. Okay, subscription services. This one is kind of wonky as well, because if I kind of do a one-off Apple purchase or in-app subscription of some sort, then I bill it to software subscriptions. So sometimes throughout the past couple of months, I may have missed the free trial period and kind of was forced to pay the full price rate. So my spent last month is not necessarily accurate, but I think I'm going to just add in $10 here, because I'm not really sure if I need anything additional there. Okay. I'm not going to do Uber. I've been slowing down on Uber Eats, so I'm going to leave that alone. But some of these other subscriptions I will contribute toward. And then I also paused my gym membership. Oh, and it's actually going to be, I believe, $11. I'm going to just put 12 in there for now, so it wouldn't be as expensive this month. Okay, we're good there. Socialiting, my favorite category that always gets me in trouble, I will say. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to add, and it's so tough because I talked about this with my friends, that some of these things like nails, lashes, hair, unfortunately have become non-negotiables in my budget unless I really, really have to streamline my expenses, and I don't think I'm quite there yet. So I'm still comfortable with adding in the money that's necessary for me to keep myself for beauty maintenance services up to par. Eventually one day I'll probably skinny this down, but I don't think that it's quite necessary for me to do that yet. And plus I go into work very often throughout the week, and also I'm, kind of just out and about very frequently. So I do want to make sure that I pay for some of these maintenance expenses just so I won't have so much maintenance or smaller maintenance tasks that are necessary throughout the week. So kind of paying for the maintenance things so you don't have to worry about being as high maintenance and so much. Okay, so I'm going to add in 105 here again. As far as hair goes, I think I'm going to add in 250. And then, I'm going to leave it at 250 for now. And then mani-pedi, I'm going to add in 140. And then fun money, I'll add in 350. And I think what I'm going to do here is remove $100. Yeah. I'll add $60 here. I'm trying not to dine out until my trip, and it's kind of allowing me to save a little bit and not spend frivolously before I go out of town. So that's kind of been the plan, but of course things kind of happen. And then lunch money, I like to have at least $15 buffer in there in case I spend anything at the cafeterias at work. And I think I'm gonna add 150 here for flights in case I need to do that. And some of these items I probably will move around, likely. Okay. So now I can play with savings. So car maintenance, I actually need to be getting my oil changed. So I'm gonna just make that 75. I doubt it's that expensive. So I'm gonna do that. And I need to put money toward here. I'm gonna just add the full amount that I need and get that out of the way. And I'm gonna add 50. Let's see. I wanna get this to 750. So let's see if I can do this. I always play with this thing. Let's see if I can get it to work. So 750, which is what I want, minus the balance that's in there, 703.25. There we go. That worked. Good. And then credit card payments, I will go ahead and round these up to $50. So I'll just do plus and then subtract 50 minus my balance, which is 37.36, close parentheses. There we go. And then I'll do the same for this. guess I can just round this up to 150 as well. Which should be just like 15 cents or something. Yep. All right, let's close this out. And then what I want to do is add in the $644 or the remainder toward my rent for next month, because next pay period I'll be having to pay rent, and it does feel a lot better to have something going toward rent versus just having to take the whole thing from my paycheck and then I'm with nothing left. So I'm going to just add in 600 there, and let's add in 450 here. This monthly rollover sinking fund is so ugly. It's only $20. And at one point, if you all have been watching or been a part of my community for long enough, you've known that I had built my buffer up from a lot of sacrifice of several years ago, but also my expenses were much smaller, and I pretty much tripled my pay or my salary, and now I've doubled my expenses, which isn't really the best idea. Okay. All right, you know what? I'm gonna add let's just add it toward the rent, or you know what? I'm gonna just add it toward my month ahead. And that kind of now serves as just a buffer in case I forgot to account for something. And I can just move it around and it's not technically assigned to a specific category. So that makes me feel comfortable. And I think we're pretty much good here. So I'm hoping soon enough I will be at that 30-day age of money mark, which kind of shows that I am not spending as quickly as I'm earning. So I'm being able to set aside money primarily in my month ahead buffer that's not being moved around or spent. And then also I do want to make sure that I'm paying down my PayPal credit card, and it has a balance of about $4,000. And then I'll start tackling Discover, and then I'll move toward Chase Sapphire. But in the meantime, I have no intentions on actually spending on these cards unless it's an absolute emergency. So what I've also done in the past pay period is move any automated bill away from credit cards, which was kind of a sneaky move that I didn't even think about. At one point, I had almost all my bills going to Chase Sapphire because I was trying to earn the entry bonus of like 4,000 points. And I think I had to spend $4,000. It was something weird. And I essentially just threw every single bill onto that card. And I had it on a auto pay. And I had never taken that off. So I'm technically spending against this card and not actively paying these things down. But I had the money set aside in my budget to pay these off. And you know how credit card transactions work. You're not really paying toward the most recent transaction. You're paying toward the last or the oldest transaction. And all these things are kind of bundled into this crazy interest rate. So all that to say, I'm thinking that I'm kind of lowering the activity on these cards and being able to have better control and pay the cards off a lot more efficiently. So thank you all so much for watching, and I look forward to, for one, getting this video uploaded. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please send a diamond emoji in the comments. That will make me feel a lot better, especially since I've been recording these videos but have not been uploading. So I'm definitely needing to make sure I put in the effort to do so. So thank you all very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.